My name's Forrest Gump. People call me Forrest Gump.
Goonies never say die!
Seven. What are you doing?
Thank you for all the joy and pain.
This is hopeless.
Do we need a train to materialize Megzie?
Guys, I was folding my laundry like trying to be a responsible girl. No hype train necessary. All right. Hello, hold on. Let me find some fun music.
$390 later, and my Fallout glasses are at the optical center to get the prescription lenses put in. WOT.
Woo! That's amazing! Dude, you gotta get the lenses. You gotta get the lenses. Wait, we have a hype train right now? What the hell? What is going on? Run away. I ran. Take my tears, and that's not nearly. Ugh. Sorry, my room is still a mess from the thon this weekend, alright? run away. Hi! Happy New Year! Happy New Year! How is everybody doing? Thank you for the hype train. That's not closed. That's my IRL backpack. I threw it there. Grizz coming in first. First of the first stream of the beginning of the year. Hello. Grizz, it's great to see you. If you ain't first, you last. Hi, Fatal. Hi, Jayhawker. Hi, Talos. King Rob. We're not variety. Golfy. You're here. Thank you for 45 months. Save your money. Bitch. Hi. Bug out. It's so good to see you. Thank you for 4 freaking months. Fold on your time, not ours. Hi, Duke. Thank you for the 7 stream streak. Thank you for the lurk, King Rob. Joke's on you. I bought 6 months in advance forever ago. Oh, shit. Well, thank you for your patronage, my liege. Ugh. My closet's open and everything. Wait, are we supposed to be rioting? No! No riot necessary. No necesita riot. No necesita. High brace face. What is going on? Thank you so much, Tiger. Oh, it's the beginning of the month. And you guys are all resubbing. That is very kind. Thank you so much. Thanks for the lurk. You just got here. Patronage or patronizing? Both. Absolutely both. How is everybody doing? Hi, Mom! I'm gonna close the closet while this is going.
Sir? What? Are we being too literal?
No, you fool. We're following orders. We were told to comb the desert, so we're combing it.
Found anything yet? Nothing yet, sir. How about you? Not a thing, sir. What about you guys? We ain't found shit.
I still haven't found shit. How's everybody doing? Thank you for the level 2 hype train. I did see a creeper can view. Oh yeah, because I paused it. I paused it because I knew you guys were gonna riot. If I took a long time. So okay, it's back up. But you can't see into the closet with this creep cam. Thank goodness. Duke, you got a card. I'm gonna pull your card for you in just a second. Thank you for being here. And thank you for the hype train. I get to eat 1 whole bean. It's dry January, folks. It is dry January. So I'm gonna be drinking an Ume Spritz. A non-alcoholic cocktail infused with lion's mane. A sparkling non-alcoholic cocktail crafted with ume plum, oro blanco, grapefruit, white tea, and sea buckthorn. Made with our signature non-alcoholic spirit crafted for moments of unwind. Dry January for some. I'm going to go as long as I can. It's going to go from January to February to however long. I need to get back into healthy habits, and I haven't been for a long time. So, getting back into working out. This was a plan well before the new year. So it's not just a pipe dream. I just need to take better care of myself. I've just been so busy with work that like I haven't found the time, but I'm going to like force the time to happen. Like I'm going to clock out and go to the gym. If I need to do work after the gym, then so be it. But I need to get back to feeling like me again, you know? And like, I'm just in pain all the time from that accident earlier. So January is extra dry for me. I'm on a bland diet. What's your favorite bland diet meal? I'll make it just to have empathy. Empathy. All right, guys, let's do a Bean Boozled. Thank you for being here. Happy 2026. It's time to just exist, I guess, in another year. And we'll see what comes with it. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of fun things to happen. I'm putting together a bingo board. I've been seeing a lot of people doing that on their Twitter, so I'm going to be doing it. Let's do a Bean Boozled before we get into the yummy drink. Thank you. I'm trying. Everything I've had so far sucks. No, even bone broth. You're also not drinking for the foreseeable future. Good on you. All right, you guys, this is probably wet dog or banana. I haven't had a banana one yet. Can we get I can do a prediction. Let's see. Photosynthesis. Get it right. Here we go. Everybody's lurking for the weekend. Prediction has started. While the prediction is going, please, please, please tune in to Soup is on Twitch next week. Or no, sorry, tomorrow. Tomorrow. It's already past the first week is already done. It's already done. The first week of the new year's already gone. Come and gone. Hello. Tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific, so that means 6 p.m. Eastern, I will be doing a Twitch game show of sorts with Star Fox and Soup, and we're going to be raising money for Golfy, who's in chat right now because she's getting surgery. She needs surgery, emergency surgery, so we're raising money for that over there. And thank you for the follow. I do anonymous follows. Feel free to introduce yourself or not. Watch the promo. But make sure you use your channel points. Wait, what happened to the prediction? Is the prediction gone? Am I tripping? What's going on? Everybody's going on the deep end. Short. That was weird. Like, was it like a... It happened? Okay, well, here we go. Oh, if you didn't vote, then good luck. Why did I say good luck to you? Well, I guess you... I don't know. It was like wanting to be banana. That was a weird 50. That was a weird mixture one. That was definitely bad. It was more so confusing, Fatal. It was confusing. So it was bad. I don't think top banana tastes like that. And why is it called a top banana? Should I drink this with ice? I think I'm going to enjoy it more with ice. I'll be right back. I'm so unprepared. Fridays are so hard. Today was like our first day back at work. Thank you for the follow. I do anonymous follows. Feel free to introduce yourself or continue being a mysterious stranger in the chat. So today was technically the first day back, but everyone was basically out of office. But of course, me having the role that I have, it's like, okay, I have all these things for you to do. So Greg and I drive up. We were like, well, Greg's like, I'll come with you because I need to go pick up our Jeep that's in the shop, right? So I'm like, great. I drop him off. And then I get a call from my boss. He's like, I need help with you doing a damage claim on the luggage that was damaged and late during our trip. And I was like, okay. He's like, this is very time sensitive, so it needs to happen now. And I'm like, well, I'm a 45-minute drive from the office, but I'll pull over and just get it done. I was on hold with United Airlines for 4 hours. Jump with the rhythm, jump, jump to the rhythm, jump. Lady Spookums with a 7-stream streak. So I'm handling all this. He also wanted some shipping stuff to be shipped today. Greg picks up the car, then he calls me 15 minutes later. The car overheated on the freeway. And his phone is about to die, and I need to call a tow truck. So, on the phone over here with United, on the phone with AAA over here, while doing emails, I'm like, this is just the beginning of the year. Why? So we got the car towed back to the mechanic. They think that it's now the water pump, which I didn't know cars had water pumps. So they're looking at that. We just replaced the radiator. We just replaced the thermostat. We just did a transmission flush. So we spent $500 just on the radiator today. Maelstrom! If the water pump's dead, if that needs to be replaced, that's another $500 to $800. Hopefully it's just a part that needs to be replaced, so it'll be minimal. But I'm just like, come on! I think it's time, guys. I'm just so... With the freaking flat tire last weekend, I'm just like so over it. I'm so over it. 500 to 800. But it's okay because we're here now. I finished doing the claim on United that took all day. I'll ship the books tomorrow on my weekend before the streams. And that's that. Everything's gonna be amazing. Hi, Southern Anime Girl. How are you? I'm good. How are you? New butt, new me. What? New me? Oh. There's a space. Hi, Fat Boy Lotto. You got a new butt? You got a new BBL? New year, new worries. Exactly, bug out. 5 to 800 or more, and they should have tested that shit before they turned the car back over to you. They said that they ran it and it was fine, but then when Greg drove it like 20 minutes on bumper-to-bumper traffic, it overheated. In the pouring rain. And he was like, why is the hood dry when it's pouring rain? Because of the they were like, it was evaporating. New Year, same baddie. No, you're a baddie. You're all baddies. Bullshit there. Oh my gosh. Yes, welcome in. How was the wedding this weekend? And also tomorrow is Gassy Wassy's birthday. Can we sing we're going to sing it tomorrow, but we're going to say, a happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear. Gas prices are increasing. Happy birthday to you. You need to watch the second season of Fallout. They're coming out slowly. There was a lot of things that we jumped, like a lot of things in this new episode that we saw while we were playing Fallout New Vegas this weekend, which was great. Got me really excited. It sucks though because Greg hasn't finished the game, so all these things I'm like getting all excited about. He's like, what? And he wants me to explain it. I'm like, I just can't explain it. You have to experience it, man. But yeah, it's good so far. It's good so far. I'm not gonna spoil it. I won't spoil. Rox, hello! First 2026 stream. Happy New Year, Roxy Loxy lady. The part probably around 2 to 3, but big expense is the labor. I know. I'm trying not to think of it. Try not to think about it. So many Prime games that are Fallout entries. What do you mean? Oh, like games similar to Fallout that are like a way to enter to the Fallout universe. Also, hi BHP. It's like being a comic book fan before the Marvel movies came out. Yes, but I was also the same way for The Walking Dead because thank you for the 3-stream streak. You feel shame. You should feel shame. For shame, Maelstrom. For shame. You scoundrel scallywag. Oh, I'm gonna go get ice. Sorry, I got all distracted. You guys got me all excited. I'm just happy to be here. See, I forget about all the troubles of the world when I'm here with you guys. Fallout 2, Tales from the Borderlands, all free with Prime at the moment. Nice! 3-time streaker. She thought of the ghoul and got distracted. I thought of the damn car and the work situation. Vault 800 is a magical place. Certainly indeed. Okay, guys, stop distracting me. Just take a look at this tree. No need to do the BRB when I'm gone. Just take a look at this tree that you guys helped decorate with all your love and support this last weekend. Thanks, Mom. I wonder who I get it from. All right, I'll be right back. I'm getting nice. Come on, Garth. Come with me. Come in? Garth, we need to cut your bangs. His bangs are in his eyeballs. Alright.
Hi, Garth. Hi.
We got our drink. We got our mocktail. La 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 la. New Year's treat. Yep. I'm going to keep it up because we put it up after Christmas. So I'm going to keep it up for a little bit. When you're feeling sad and low, we will take you where you gotta go. Make sure. My phone is on just in case. Once a streaker, always a streaker. You know what I'm saying? We're going to Boston. Slam it to the left if you're having a good time. If you know that you feel fine. And go round. So, I must ask, is there anyone in chat unfamiliar with the movie Harvey? It's an older film, so I'm sure there are quite a few people. Oh, that's tasty. I am typically a short time streaker, then I become a long time sleeper. Streak to the left if you're having a good time. Dancing Queen. Me and my rabbit friend don't know what Harvey is. I made sure to ask him. Very clever. That's really, oh man, I'm gonna sip on that fast. That's good. Look at this faux look at this faux giraffe. How pretty are those balls in that garden? Judy is hella proud. What did I miss? Did I miss a call? 1950. My friend looks a little more like Don Darko Bunny. Well, we had a bunny named Harvey, and he passed away right before we got Garth. That was devastating. That was devastation. Hi, see, yeah, hold tight. All right, Duke. I got your cards here. The fallout cards of your future. Hi, see, yeah, hold tight. Didn't resolve the prediction, bro. Can I have a mod to resolve the prediction to Bad Bean? The baddest bean of all. Let me just shuffle these for you. Bad Bean. Andrew, you're back. How you doing? Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Resolves it. As soon as you say that, though, it was resolved. 2,600 go to Lady Spookums and who? Oh, that's what happened with my Lilu. She was my gal for 6 years before Ramen. Oh. Most of my predictions go all unresolved, to be honest. Happy New Year, Cloven. How are you? I saw the sign, and it opened up my eyes. I saw the sign. My dear, I hope you had a good celebration. Honestly, I was in bed. I realized that New Year's Eve makes me really anxious. I had to take some like magnesium and melatonin gummy bears because I realized, so the last party I went to was the New Year's Eve of 2020, right? And it was a not great party. It was a 60, it was what is the word? Advertised as a 1960s theme Halloween, 1960s theme New Year's Eve party, right? And Greg and I, of course, we're like, this is right up our alley. We're going to dress up. We dress up, and we're the only ones in the full-on garb. We look like old farts because we're surrounded by a bunch of, I don't know, Gen Zers at the time. All right? And, like, I put on, like, 60s dance music, and there were, like, people complaining that the music sucked. And they were like, we're not going to ring the new year in with listening to this garbage. And so I was like, okay, there's just, like, a lot of negative energy here. Like, my friends and I were just hanging out, but then I was just kind of over it. And I was like, Greg, can we go home? And he's like, well, it's not midnight yet. And then my friend's like, no, please don't go. Please stay. I'm like, I honestly just want an In-N-Out burger and I just want to go home. And everyone was like, no, you have to stay. It's going to be the New Year soon and it's going to be great. Just have another drink. And I was just not having it. I was just like over it, right? Of course, what's to follow is the 2020 we all know and love, right? And so ever since then, I'm just like, maybe it even happened before then, but it's just like, I don't like feeling stuck in places that, like, I don't like feeling obligated to call people, everyone I know, when the clock strikes midnight, just to wish them a happy new year. I don't want to have to text everyone I know. Like, I still care about everyone, but, like, it's just another obligation to have to, like, I don't know. Like, I'm always thinking about other people, and I say, like, Merry Christmas just 5 days prior, and then it's like Happy New Year. Like, I get it's the nice thing to do, but I'm just tired at this point. And I feel like I have to just Yo, Super Dave with the raid. Welcome in, Raiders. Apparently the remnant from the Ashes dudes are named Remnants, and you can trust us. We're making it up. Wait, what? Welcome in, Raiders, Mass Defect, Robco, Super Dave, Gamer DLM. Welcome in. How was your stream? What were you playing? What were you playing? Oh, Remnant from the Ashes. That makes sense. That makes sense. Happy New Year, Dave. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome to the Vault 800. My name is Megzie, and this is the slumber party that everybody hates. But thank you so much for being here. I hope you had a wonderful New Year's Eve. I was just telling the story of how New Year's Eve gives me a lot of anxiety. Not to mention you're thinking about your past and you're getting all anxious about the future, right? So you have like what's to come, all the shit I've been through, and also like what you're doing right now. Are you expected to hang with friends? Are you expected to hang with I hate you. Are you expected to hang with friends? Are you expected to hang with family, you know? So I just feel, I think New Year's Eve is my least favorite holiday. I'll be completely honest. And I hate that for me. But I don't like it. And like, I don't want to go out and drink, and it's always like very sketchy out. Same with like Halloween nights. I just get too scared to go out. Megzie, is this actually your mom? Yes, it is. I'm over New Year's celebrations. You're old too. You are over it? I'm over it. I'm done. But Dave, thank you so much again. If you got a raid and run, please take care of yourself. Have a fantastic rest of your Friday night. But if you're going to stay, that means also a lot too. We're going to play some more New Vegas tonight, and then tomorrow we have multiple streams. One over at Soup is on Twitch. I won't be live, but I'll be over there raising money for our mod Golf for her surgery, and then we're going to be streaming over here. We're going to be doing our second episode of Roll for Special, where I use a D&D dice to predict my build in Fallout 3. So now DUIs are a felony, so it's not even worth drinking one and driving. Oh, whoa, a felony? They had to make it a harder offense. That's honestly real. If I'm going to go do any kind of celebration, it's at home or a small get-together. Yes. We were going to have friends over, but it was just a really... New Year's Eve has been of a trial since 2020. New Year's Day 2020 was the last time I saw my dad. Oh, no. I'm sorry to hear that, Bug. New Year's parties are for amateurs. Just drink tea and watch movies and eat pizza. Stream was a lot of fun. I did a co-op Remnant run with some friends. Think Soulsy third-person shooter. Oh, fun! And our Remnants, the Ashes of the Remnants? Is that what that is? I did eat pizza, actually. See? You get it. Tea and movies and pizza sounds like a peak night, to be honest. Yeah. And the fireworks are going crazy, so if we left, Garth would have been freaking out. Even Wayne was scared. There were so many fireworks. Don't take fame. Fatburger tastes 20 times better. I don't know. I'm an In-N-Out girly. I honestly like my protein style, animal style with hot peppers. Get it out of my face, but I'm going to eat it. So put it back in my face, please. Thank you. And those people are dead now. Too bad I put glue on your chair. That's my new t-shirt idea. I just want In-N-Out Burger to go. That's a great t-shirt. I made sure to hug Ramen tight. He no bueno with the closed fireworks. Oh. They are remnant ashes. I didn't pay attention to the story at all. The enemies are sometimes trees. Go get food, but tell us what you're gonna get. Last couple of years, we go to some friends to drink a little higher, play tabletop games. I feel like playing like card games or tabletop games would be a lot of fun. Oh man. But yeah. So we didn't do anything. I'm chill. I'm fine. It's okay. We have the rest of the year to do fun shit, right? It doesn't have to always be on a holiday. Breaded fish and some kind of vegetable. Nice. Good job. You're gonna cook. You're just a little cooking cowboy, aren't you? Oh, hi, Mari. Is that your name? Welcome in. Thank you so much for stopping by. How are you? So in my city, they started the fireworks, but then halfway through, someone tripped over a power cord and cut him. Oh my god. Ooh, it's going. It's the first stream of the new year. We're just hanging, catching up, and talking smack. It's what we do. I'm just a big old smack talker. How about you? How are you kicking off your New Year's? Or your new year, rather. This year we had a marathon munchkin game with 5 drunk people. Talking snack, don't say that, I'm always hungry. And now that I'm talking about burgers, I want one, and we're not doing meat. We're not doing meat, and we're not doing alcohol, and we're not doing coffee. Like, we've cut out all the shit. No wonder I'm grumpy. No wonder I feel like absolute ass. Oh. I die. No meat, no coffee. Tea and fish. We're doing pescatarian, but yeah, Grinch 24/7. You're gonna be a basket case. I mean, I already am. Tea is where it's at. I know it's gonna be healthier for me in the long run. Ow. I love coffee, but it gets me cranky and jittery and like super sweaty. Can you still smoke cigars? Absolutely. I had to taper it down to at least just 1 cigar a day. So, yeah. Cigars are non-negotiable. I believe in you. I did go on a bit of a tea shopping spree. They were on sale, so I got a bunch of different flavors, so that way I could try as many as I could when I was like feeling munchy or feeling like thirsty. I'm gonna order the Tiesta next payday. Yay! Oh, that's really kind, Rox. That's really kind. I live right next to a tea importer and specialist. Ooh, stop. I figured it's worth spending some money on tea because you spend a lot of money when you go to like a brewery and get like 2 beers each, right? So I was like, it's okay. This is okay. It's worth. Oh my gosh, you're going to have to message me the name. I'm going to look into it and see what kind of flavors they had. I put limoncello in my kombucha. My body is loose now, and I'm not through half the bottle of booch. Yes, tea is very good. Sure, I'll DM you later. Thank you, darling, thank you. But welcome in, Humanzy. My favorite tea is Yorkshire Gold. Is that just like a black tea? I'll tell you the flavors that I got of this tea. I got something called cherry chocolate. Okay, I got blueberry wild child, cuz hello. I'm a wild child, you know. You're turning violet. It has apple pieces, hibiscus, elderberries, rosehip, pomegranate bits, cornflowers, and blueberries. And then what is this cherry one I got? I got Mary Cocoa Cherry. And that has apple, cocoa, hibiscus, sweet blackberry leaves, elderberries, chocolate chunks, and cherries. Oh. See, I'm on like a berry chocolate thing. Cherry choco is going to be cool. Heard a comedian say they resolved to eat more and exercise less. Sounds like a reverse like power move. Oh. So I'm interested in that. Berry me and chocolate, which has dried berries, cinnamon tea, and cocoa nibs. That sounds delicious. I also got it's called a Sexy Hot Christmas. And that has chocolate, black tea, cinnamon, chili, pink peppercorns, and black pepper. I was doing good with my diet until November, then I turned into Kirby. You're like... That was you. What kind of tea are you typically into? So there was this tea. I just want to make sure I'm not running over Garth. There was this tea at Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf that was discontinued, and I think it was like a green tea, but it was called pomegranate blueberry, and it was delicious with a little bit of vanilla powder. And it was delicious over ice, and it gave me a really good like energy kick. Pomegranate blueberry coffee bean. Let's see what was in that. Pomegranate blueberry tea. Chinese green Thai oolong and Sri Lankan black tea with blueberry and pomegranate. So it was like a bunch of black tea, caffeinated tea. But it was really yummy. Of course, they discontinued it because I guess they were bought by Jollibee, and I was like, why? Why are all these places getting purchased or selling out? It's just gonna go downhill. What else did I get? So I like all sorts of things. I like fruity. I like vanilla. I like spice. I like all the things. They got a tea called Bezos de Café, which is Colombian black tea with coffee beans. Ooh! But see, there's still coffee in it. But I guess the coffee beans aren't like ground. You have Jollibee. Our first one's meant to be here in the New Year's. I have only had them once a long time ago. I think it was in 2014 where I tried their spaghetti with hot dogs. Is that a thing? Yeah, so this place has a similar one, it looks like, but I'd love to try out different small businesses to like see which ones I vibe with, because this one has black tea, roasted coffee beans, white chocolate, sweet blackberry leaves, freeze-dried yogurt pieces. So it's called Tiramisu Coffee Cocoa Mocha. I can't listen to this song anymore. I sang it so much at karaoke that it just drives me crazy. But yeah, I'm going to be a tea girl for as long as I can muster. Ooh. Apparently my first birthday was there in the Philo Cuisine, Philo Spaghetti. This is where we all fight to have you choose our best tea places of choice. Time to take off your clothes. WrestleMania naked style. But yeah. Anybody have any resolutions or things that they're working for in the new year? I'd love to hear it. Tea streamer, I'm all here for it. Thanks. It's a new era. It's a new era for me. Only inputting. Duke, are you still here? I gotta choose a card for you. Left or right? Left or right? Left or right? Left Or right. Sorry. Left or right. This is left. Left or right. Thank you for the follow. I do anonymous follows. Feel free to introduce yourself or continue being a mysterious stranger in chat. I get a primary care physician and an optometrist. I'm so glad I have a PCP now. I haven't had a primary care practitioner in a while, so yeah. Another goal of mine in the new year is to hit the plus program again. And that's where if I can get 100 subs or sub points 3 months in a row, and that means either 100 of you sub or resub, it doesn't include Prime, at tier 1, or like you get 2 sub points for tier 2 or 6 sub points for tier 3. If I can get back into the plus program at the 60, 60, 40, or the 70, would be awesome. That's one of the goals for me as well. And I'm just hoping that this Fallout transition works for everybody, because I'm having a really fun time. On the more fun side, there's a projection VFX designer gig for a show we're doing. Ooh, you should do it. You should do it. Are you still doing all that fun stuff? Hell yeah. All right. I think I skipped. I waited too long for Duke. So, I will refund his points, and if he wants to do the one card again in the future, he can just redeem. Have you done any fun props lately? Still prop supervisor, which I'm kind of the dark horse since I don't have any professional. Are you still at the place that you moved to like several years back? Anybody have any resolutions? Or not. We can just get into the game. Still at the place. Amazing. Are you enjoying it? Do you like it? Are you having fun? Do it! Do it, Lotto! Put together a reel. Put it out there. Start recording you doing like fake commercials and stuff. To move to Vegas. I need to make sure I take and do the things at my own pace. That's a good way of thinking. It has its ups and downs, and we try to make it fun where we can. We've had a rotating door of upper artistic administration, so I'm keen to see if that goes in a positive direction. I'm wondering why. They just are like not vibing with someone at the high ups, or what? Why is it so hot in here? Why is it so hot? I need a fan. I need to order a fan for up here. It's you?
MissMegzie's, you are so hot. I would let you date me. Not everyone gets a little cage action.
You're so hot, I would let you date me. Not everyone gets a little cage action. Chris, thank you for the 200 bits. That was disturbing, but thank you. I hope you're doing well. Happy New Year.
You know what ATM stands for, right? Ass to mouth. By the way, just so that we are speaking the same language.
Chris, you're bad. You're bad. Thank you for the bits, though. Oh, it's you! You're driving everybody out? Number one fans aren't cool enough. We get it. I don't have any resolutions, but I would like to get my radio station rolling again. Wait, are you a DJ? That would be so cool. I noticed that there are just no true oldies stations anymore. Like, oldies is now the 80s. And, like, there are times where I just want to turn the radio on and listen to 50s music. Like, why can't I do that? Why did they not allow it to happen? 50s and 60s, man, they're still oldies. It's not always Tears for Fears and Aha. You know what I mean? Captain Midnight? Captain Midnight? I had an internet radio station, did a live show on Fridays too. Oh, that's amazing. Got some smooth FM 105 over here. They got some 70s tunes I twist to. I feel like 70s is good too, but those can get a little bit repetitive. Like we need to be able to listen to some like Fun in the Sun surf bops again. Like I want to feel like I'm blistering my feet in the heat on the concrete. Wow, that really rhymed. 89.5 WBUG-DB, Madison, Wisconsin. Classic alternatives from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I love it. Sick verse, bro. One more time for that rhyme. I don't remember what I said. So you're going to have to clip it and ship it and double dip it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love 70s, I love 80s, and I love 90s music. But I do need a little bit of the old soul coming out. But is anybody watching season 2 of Fallout? What did you think, without any spoilers, what did you think about the third, is it the third episode or the fourth? I think it's the third. CJ stuck. Is that where you are? I'm an hour and a half south, right by the drag strip. Did you ever listen to 89.5 WBUG-DB? Is your daddy? He rich? Is he rich like me? Oh my gosh, I know. There was so much timing, perfect timing for that. I was as giddy as a schoolgirl. Happy New Year, Chris. Thank you for the bits. Loving. Unless it was on WMEN. I was at a Badger game. Sorry, I'm too old. Captain Midnight was a guy who in 1986 blocks HBO satellite signal in protest over price hikes. Interessante. When, not women. I was like, WMEN, oh, all these weird radio stations in Wisconsin, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I did not know who Captain Midnight was. Thank you for the pop culture lesson. To show what you need to live. Support local radio, folks. Absolutely. Sweebs, how are you? Hey, I love your emotes. I like your emotes. Thank you for sharing. I'm gonna follow. I didn't realize you were a streamer. I did a Friday night show on Phoenix Radio and got sick of someone trying to make my hobby an unpaid job, so I left and started my own thing. Is it expensive to have radio to air? I mean, I guess buying air is expansive. Was how I learned the term Uncle Charlie for the FCC and learned to hate the FCC for overreaching power. The power. Well, shit. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy to be here. Happy to be here. Let's jump into some, Christmas was good. New Year's was good. I kind of did the same thing for both this year. I think I've just been really, really burnt out mentally, physically, emotionally, that I just didn't do anything. I went and saw my sister on Christmas Day. It was just the 4 of us. And then Christmas Eve, chill dinner. Christmas Day, not much. No presents. No presents. It was like any other day, honestly. We had a tree, but we didn't decorate it. I put out some stockings because now we have a fireplace, but that's about it. Safety. Dance. Boop, 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 boop. We do not need more stuff. That's correct. Nope. I was streaming, and the biggest expense is the royalties and licensing, at least Live 365. Oh, shoot. You have to purchase licensing to play music. I forget about that. You can't just, like, willy-nilly. You can't just willy-nilly whatever songs you want to play. Brr. Lame. Pirate radio. My brother, mom, and I had a sit down on New Year's Eve and had to face the hard truth about Dad, and I've been pretty low. Oh no. Sweebs, I'm so sorry. I thought this was going somewhere light. That sucks. I'm so sorry to hear it, Sweeb. Shoot, man. Not a fun time to roll in the new year. It's okay. You have people here for you. You are loved, and I'm sure your family, you'll have each other. Yes, we have today, darlings. So, we shall play the game of our people called Fallout New Vegas and see if we can finish this darn thing. Oh gosh, that's loud. Gosh, it's like I'm watching The Crown. The crowning of Megzie. Shoot. Where's the darn game? Capture the game, shall we? Is it going to be small again? It is, of course. We need to warm it up a little. It's a little cold in here. It's a tad bit chilly. Is it small? It's a younger version of... Oh, well, here. Thank you, GMC. It is so kind. So kind and thoughtful. Why won't this stay charged? Well, that's annoying. What the heck? Oh. Probably won't stay charged if I need new batteries. Well, that makes a load of sense. You can't make me wear pants. I can't. You're right. Turn off 360 controllers in the control section. Blah, 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 blah. No, I want to use it. Thank you for the 5-stream streak. All right, so last we left off, I think we told Caesar that we would help. Oh. I guess this is where we left off, so I'm gonna run out of here. They have not forgotten.
Things are getting stranger every day.
Yeah, you're right. So I need to go get Raul because he's back at at Caesar's Legion. So we need to go pick his ass up. We should also try to do some things for the powder gangers, so that way we could at least try to get where's Raoul? So we can try to get some points with them and get the sheriff for Prim.
By order of Caesar, all visitors must disarm and relinquish all banned items.
Sure. Where's Raoul? Raoul! I thought Raoul was stuck apologizing to Joanna. Nope. No, he's not. We have an ad in 50 seconds. If you would like to do a stretch break, get yourself a drinky winky, or take a second. Otherwise, feel free to just sub. If you have the means, of course. If you have the means. I know it's a tight wallet type of year. I only stretch and drink during your stream. When the ads come on, that's when the real fun starts. That's when the real fun starts. Impossible.
Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about
Things are happening every day. Raoul, follow me. Are you eavesdropping? Did you learn anything good? Follow me and everything is alright. That was so funny when we saw the Mirelurk King and he was like Jared Letoing into the lake with arms wide open. That's when Kettlebell comes out, you know what I mean? Do I? I don't know. Wait. I haven't discovered Sloan yet? Okay, we're going to Sloan. With arms wide open. Oh, am I still wearing the rebreather? Okay, I need to take that out of here. Rebreather must be relinquished. Okay, I need to up my... What's the word? Charisma? Ooh, I can be a boomer. Boomer flight suit. And wear my Merc Charmer outfit. Oh wait, that doesn't... Wait, why? Why wouldn't I be able to charm wearing this? Takes note. Okay, that joke didn't work. Try barbell. Boomer flight suit would be a great band name. It would. A barbell. Now I'm confused. This is going right over my head, alright? With arms wide open. With arms wide open. Alright. Because you're already a charmer, ma'am. It cancels itself out. Oh, you. Where's Sloan? That son of a bitch. Alright. Yes, let's put a marker. Oh. What's happening? Yo, Powder Ganger. Why? Why? There ain't no reason for the season. Ow! No! Oh, they shot their own guy! Oh! Oh no! Wait, that was a Jared Leto joke? I feel sad that I don't understand, but Garth, are you trying to get out of my room? Do you want to leave my room? With arms wide open. Where's a bed? I need a bed. I'm hungry again, guys. This is a shame. It's okay. I'm the failure here. Wait, where did this plane come from? Since when are there like just planes all willy-nilly in the wasteland? Am I now just seeing it? Is that the effect, like you help get a plane out of the ocean and then, or the lake, and then you just start seeing planes everywhere? Like if you buy a new car and now you start seeing that car everywhere on the road? Kurt, welcome back. Good to see ya. How you doing? What's new? Happy New Year to you. Jared Leto? Oh, more powder gangers over there. I need to stim pack before I run over there all silly. Oh, and I have Sunset Sarsaparillas though too, so that'll help with HP. Kurt 44 22 88. Kurt 44 22 88. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Hey, how you doing? I hope that is great. What you gonna do when you find out you are Kurt 22 44? Wait, 44 22 88. I fucked it up. With arms wide open. Sick verse, bro. You wanna leave? Okay. Garth wants out.
This is hopeless. This is...
Love the singing, and Happy New Year to you too.
Happy New Year. Thank you for the 100 biddies. Run that sick rap back. I'm doing well. I am doing well as well. Just hanging out, playing New Vegas, one of my favorite games. Oh, I didn't even get a chance. Wow, Raul's just on top of it. Kurt 44 22 88. Kurt 44 22 88. Kurt 44 22 88. What you gonna do when they see you skate? Skate down the street, skate in the park, skate everywhere where you doing your art. Kurt 44 22 88. What you gonna do? I hope you're feeling great. And it's empty. Okay, there's the bed I needed. And that's the person I already took the clothes off of. 143298. Who do we appreciate? Sounds like a code for the Laka. Garth knows that was sick too. Oh no, here's the Brahmin guy. Do you know that there's something called a Brahmin purse? And it's apparently a fancy designer purse. And I came across it on TikTok and I was like, Brahmin, like from the game? Is it a purse made out of Brahmin? And I I put a photo of a Brahmin caravan, and the person whose post it was like, what the hell is that? Bless her heart. Bless her heart. She's so innocent. She doesn't know the toils of the wasteland. Ah! Thank you for the follow. I do anonymous follows. Feel free to introduce yourself or continue being a mysterious stranger in the chat. There goes his leg. How will I know he loves me? He's still holding that. He's still holding that dynamite like it's HOTTOGO. You can take me hard to go. HOTT. Wait, I've been to Sloan, right? Yeah, because I went through the quarry. So how have I not discovered it? I guess I didn't go down the corner, out in the street. Okay. So now I've discovered it. Oh my god! What the? What are you guys doing in here? Why are they all just conglomerating? Like, hello? There's a whole wide world out here. Oh, now they're all... What in the NPC is happening? Why were they all in there? Hey, good looking. What you got cooking? How's about cooking something up with me? Nothing. Whole lot of nothing in here. Ooh, wait. Oh, there's Sunset Sarsaparilla. That means they're doing something. But I did lose karma for it. Ooh, and a safe. Something he ain't telling us. There's something going on here. Ooh, some bottle caps. Bottle caps for that ass. Would you like to build a snowman? It is nuclear winter. Oh, that's a lot of bottle caps. Oh! Hello? I'm a rich bitch. If I was a rich girl, na 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 na. See, I'd have all the caps in the world if I was a wealthy girl. Yep, I'm losing the karma. Bang, the money could bring. I buy everything.
Have you seen them? Our rangers are the finest men alive.
No, they don't exist. But why are your eyes glowing? It's scary. Hi, Greg. It's the vote saboteur? What do you mean, the vote saboteur? I want to take this scrap metal, but he's gonna get mad. There's a lot of scrap metal in here, actually. Oh! I wanted feet! And I was able to use channel points. It's not sabotage if it's the real. Well, I feel honored. Wait, is there an award show? I missed it.
Congratulations on your orgasm.
Chris, what the hell? I'm sure I've gotten it. I'm sure I've worked this out before, but I'd forgotten that's where I knew you from. Feet should be a winner every time. Nah, I meant you got nominated in the vote by name. Oh, yeah. I did use quite a lot. I think I used like over 100 channel points to skew feet in my direction. Look, I live with a mustache. Well, I guess I live with feet every day too. I don't know why. I have no excuse. No rebuttal. Nothing. Look at this big old nerd. Jeff! Oh my goodness! So good to see you. How are you? Happy New Year. I am a big old nerd. Why is this guy still in here? I just want the scrap metal. I guess I don't need it. Why am I acting like I need it right now? Hi, how you doing? Feet. Well, oh, hi, Jess.
Let me ask you a question. What's the tastiest thing you've ever eaten?
Your mom. I'm sorry, what? Why do you ask?
I've got this recipe for a deathclaw omelet that I've been itching to try out.
Oh, really?
I need a deathclaw egg. Kind of obvious, I suppose.
Happy New Year to you, dude. Megzie and all of chat. How have you been? What have you been up to? Tell us. Listen, Lotto. These ladies just sometimes have stashes. It's genetic, okay? Zorbino better sell me the Let's Get Ready to Huckle CD and stop teasing me. Why? Because it's now Nurse Knuckleberry. Bare knuckle boxing.
I don't have much in the way of money, but I'd be willing to share the secret of the recipe.
Oh, same, Jeff.
The quarry just north of here is
Hi, Cerebral Fire.
so there's bound to be an egg
Welcome
or two in there
in.
somewhere.
I'm loving the
Of
series
course, a death
too.
claw egg from anywhere will do. According to my Aunt Rose, those things have a ridiculously long shelf life.
There's Knuckleberry and MissMegzie's. Alright. No, I don't have anything. I just wanted you to talk to me because I'm lonely. I'm lonely in the wastes. Just never seen a mustachio, ma'am. Hey, you! Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Cerebral fire. Is your head on fire? And if so, which one? Yo, you didn't have to go and do that, Jeff. Thank you so much for the 31 months. Thank you for the re-subarino. If the other one is on fire, ask your doctor if you have crippling hemorrhoids. I'm gonna take a pee and think about life. An hour? I think that's a good amount of time. And we're off. Ma'am? You're lonely in the waist, too. Lonely, I am so lonely. I have nobody to call my own. How do I get around? Round, round, get around, I get around. Let's go this way where that giant cross is. Oh, that can't be bad at all. Ooh. Round, round, get around, I get around town to town. I'm a real cool head. Warning, death claws ahead. Okay, oh, shh.
Just got word of another settlement that needs our help. I'll mark it on your map.
Thank you very much for the 100 bit space nachos. How can you walk properly with those numb legs after an hour pee? You just gotta walk it off, alright? You just gotta walk it off. Sometimes that tingling feeling, it just makes life worth living. Thank you for the biddies. I know they are spread out a little more than before, but your streams always make me happy so that I can't be unsubscribed when I'm causing problems. Yes, I now stream Fridays and Saturdays, so it won't be so sporadic anymore. I'm on a full-on consistent schedule again now that I've moved and I'm settled for the most part and all that. Thank you for the hype train, guys. What is this memorial for? Oh, Raul, you actually scared me again. What's this? Peace? Oh, gosh. Okay. Choo-choo! I saw this peace sign. See, I knew it. I knew it. There ain't no way that just peace will be here without it being a hollow rock. But I do need to get a shovel. I keep finding shovels in Fallout 76, but none in Fallout New Vegas. And, oh wait, is this a shovel? No, this is a dead skeleton. Oh wow, there's a lot of stuff in here. Does he have a... I'm sorry, what the hell, Jeff? You're not supposed to be surviving and then throwing 10 frickin' subs in my chat. That is not how that goes. Thank you so much. And Kurt with the 200 biddies. Jeff, you have gifted a total of 249 subs in this channel. That is absolutely insane. Thank you. Thank you. Sir Thriving. are thriving. Surviving doesn't mean financially. Okay, I just want you to make sure you're okay. You're good. You're good. I don't want you to... Nobody should be spending money out of their means, even if it's to do that kind of shit. But thank you. Thank you for the 10 bomb. That is really, really kind. It's great to see you too. Outside of that, you're just a pleasure to have around, and that goes for all of yous, all right? Thank you for the hype train. Thank you. What level is that now? That means I have to do at least 3 Bean Boozled. So for every level of hype train that we that we pass, that we conclude, we have to do Bean Boozled. So that's a level 3 so far. Why doesn't this guy have a darn shovel? Oh, and now I'm cucumbered. Son of a biscuit. Can I... Oh yeah, I can definitely do that. I can drop the machete. I'm a real good. That's better. Bean dare done that. No, Rox. Absolutely not. You're not supposed to pun. No puns here. No fun, no pun. Looks like we have a crashed airplane of some sort. Alright, guys. So, what does that sound? Oh, hell no! He didn't see me. He didn't see me. We still haven't seen a darn Deathclaw in Fallout. We haven't seen a darn Deathclaw in Fallout yet. Or a super mutant. We saw a super mutant hand in season 1. Ooh, we got a little lad's life here. But we did not... What are you doing? Why are you crouching? Why are you crouching? Alright. We need to get through here quick. Quick. Aw, hell not for real. Let's just go over here quietly. We're moving quietly so that way Soupy Whoopy, thank you for donating $31 to Save Place for Youth. We've officially hit $2,500 to help unhoused youth in Los Angeles. Thank you so much. And they just built a new location in Melrose. So that's thank you so much. And even 25. That's very kind. And thank you again for the hypey wipey trainy wainy. Yes, everyone go follow Soup is on Twitch. I will be there tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time raising money for Golfie. Golfie and her surgery. Are you ready? Are you amped? Based. Getting all this charity for charity and for me. Thank you very much. It's all gonna get paid forward. I'm gonna tell you that right now. All about the paying forward. I'm very excited as well. Okay, another darn graveyard. Wait, this is Good Springs. How did I end up back here again? Oh,
I've got balls of steel.
Elroy, thank you for the 75 bits. Thank you for the 75 bits. We've been to Quarry Junction. Okay, we've done this. Ranger Morales' corpse. Oh, let's check that out. You're not new. You're not new. Okay, that's 3 beans. You're not new. Thank you so much for the 11 subs and 675 bits. Thank you very, very much. Did I take the wrong turn at Albuquerque? I guess I did. I guess I did. I mean, I'm all about supporting streamers that support others. I try. You know? Do good in the world, and good comes back to you. Even when bad stuff happens, it happens to the best of us, right? All right, we're gonna go with these. You're not new. We three beings of New Vegas. Hold on. Can we do... No, we're going to do one at a time. And I'm always going to save this for last because that's what I do. Can we get a... Yes, thank you. Hi, Muskrat. Welcome in. Thank you for showing off your 1-inch peen. Your 1-inch peenar is now just sitting there looking at us, giving us a weird face. You poor soul. Is it gonna be a good bean? Is it gonna be bad? Okay, Sue. Calm down. Calm down. Show off. Does damage. Yikes. 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 What will the bean be? Make sure to use all your channel points. To yourself. 2,500. We've hit the halfway mark, and we did that within 3-4 days of streaming. You guys are insane. Thank you. Golf the mod is doing her best and needs the help from the peoples, for the peoples, by the peoples, forevermore, forevermore, forevermore. All right. Here we go. We're going to start with either stink bug. Let's do full screen. Stink bug or toasted marshmallow. Stinkberg or toasted marshmallow. It's toasted marshmallow. Oh my god, it's toasted marshmallow. Toasted marshmallow is the way. It's not stink bug. I hate it. All right. I'm great at gambling. Are you? Exclamation mark gamble all then, bitch. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Stinky sock or tutti frutti? Stunker circ or turdy furter? Stunker circs or turdy furter? What it'll be? What it'll be? What? I heard you clapping without seeing off screen. That's all I'm gonna say. Wow. Toasted marshmallow in the world. Toasted marshmallow. Party time. How you doing? Oh my god! It's Stunker Starks or all in. Oh my god, Muskrat. Really? I called you out and you're doing it? I'm scared. I meant like gamble all, exclamation mark, gamble all like your fake points, not your real points. Holy moly. Those are great. All right. Here we go. Turtifurter or Stunker Circ? And props. Oh, that was disgusting. Oh my god. 37,000 points? Stinker Sir. Who else got it? Wait, that's so many points? And bug out. Did you lose all your points, Muskrat? Did I jinx you? Was I a cooler? All right, we still have one more to go. We still have one more to go. Is this going to be toothpaste or berry blue? Turth pursed or burr blur. Turth pursed burr blur. All your marbles, darling, all your marbles. Oh, man. Ernmer Turger. Ernmer Turger, okay. Oh, why am I talking this way? I don't know. I don't know. Merker, okay. Third turthers and perts for turth pursed or burbler. I'm not even drinking. This is a problem. Burbler. Dirk. Okay. So if it is toothpaste, that means it's bad. It's burbler. It's burbler. Not sure. I'm gonna pee my pants. Sure. Oh my god, my breakfast trimmer. Just giving my points away.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it here.
That's a lot of points,
Like it,
Jeff.
nobody likes it.
Oh
Nobody
my
likes it.
god. Oh my god. Let it be known that I am one who comes makes to wear derpers and sturm for derster forward. Oh god. Oh, Elroy, thank you for gifting us so deterred burglar.
I am serious.
Stop it, I want in and out now. Oh. I mean, earn an ert. I want earn an ert. Or derpers on Strum from this day. Yeah, cause you're just you've caught on quick to my lingo, okay? And it makes me laugh. Because why would anyone talk like this? I don't know. Good lord. Oh my god, turd blogger, get a subscription. Okay, why am I talking like that now? No. We're not doing that. We're not talking like that. Only for fun occasions like being boozled from a hype train, okay? Alright, that's where I want to set my marker to, and then I'm gonna herp over her. Just for fun little treats, exactly. Fern litter charts. This is the content I give. Well, thank you. You've helped make it all happen. What are you doing?
Can I go to your office?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know how to get in, right? You don't know
Key
how?
that's
Yeah.
Behind the mailbox?
Yeah. Not the mailbox, but the thing on the left of the door.
Yeah.
What did you just eat? The Turkers?
Yeah. That's the one?
No,
Yeah,
no.
with beans and
I had the Turkers and it made my tummy hurt.
arugula on top.
I'll make some in a little bit.
I
Thank
thought
you.
if you want to get back to it.
Just call me when you're there because there's a lot of stuff to pick up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
It'll likely be less traffic.
Yeah, I was waiting for it to die down
Matermer. Yeah, I had some food earlier today and I just didn't forget. It murdered Matermer hurt. I'm just talking to everyone like this now. You heard the Turkers? I think this is what's called a random encounter. Specific merits have to be met. Yes. No more talking like... We cannot talk like that. Just like we cannot have Pippi. Free Pippi. Uh-oh. Is this a good guy or a bad guy? Oh, okay. He's okay. Kermit gaped. No for Purper? Wait, what? Now I don't even understand my own language. Ow! Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Who the hell is shooting me? Ow! Handle it, Raoul. Chat is broken. I have broken chat. I have taught them a new way of speaking in the apocalypse. The apocalypse is now. With arms wide open. A fiend? Oh, nice work, Raoul. That was a headshot. Oh. Why am I in my own way?
I'm looking.
Get him! Oh, for the love of Pete. For murder, Largurge. Let's get their leg in the leg, in the leg, in the leg. Woohoo! Ouchie, wouchie! Got you in the leggy waggy. What are you gonna do? Make some eggs and bakey? Because you can't. Because you can't. Because bacon doesn't exist. It's the wasteland. It's the wasteland. And you're gonna likely drink your piss. Alright. Eddie Vedder. Cirque verse, bruh. Okay, I'm done. You're gonna start talking like that. What the? They're walking in the air? Wow. Who'da thunk? There's always 2027. I'm surprised it took that long, to be honest. I don't think there's going to be any Pippi redeems tonight. I'm telling you that much right now. We're already almost 10 p.m. Happy New Year, Crackalakin! Why won't I shoot properly? I'm looking forward to Tuesday for you. I really hope, hopey, wopey. Get her in the butt. Nope. Why am I wasting ammo? This is stupid. Okay, what's over here? Why am I at RepCon? Happy New Year to me and you and you. Oh. These fiends are dead? I'm unlocking this terminal just for you, you guys. No stairway. Denied. Okay. 1 out of 8. So I'm guessing cracking, because Crackalackin's here. Crackalackin! What? Let's go. Alright, we've unlocked it. What did I just unlock, though? Was it that door? I don't even know if that door was locked.
Hello.
Oh!
Please remember are from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. Please show your badge or make your way out of the building.
Hey, where's my badge? Is that why all these people are dead? Uh-oh. Committee? Reference? Telephone? Furniture? Nope. Replicate. This one's hard. Primitive. Guess it's better than I love because I love crack. Chat is going to be an indecipherable mess for weeks. No, I think chat will be okay. See, look, everyone's already done. Cathedral. Confusing. Contained. Shit. Why am I trying to do this? Darn. Are they though? I think so. Come on. Come on. Continued. Ooh, close. Converted? There we go. We got him. We got him. Add user facial data to the database. Oh, okay. A personnel packet with identification bag, which is very important that you wear your badge at all times. Again, this is for everyone's protection. Oh, and everyone feel free to take a long weekend as soon as you have received your personal packet. Oops. What did it say? Hello everyone, my name is Carl Rook. As I'm sure you can tell, I'm your new vice president. Until recently, I was at Robco, working in their security division. But now that your family and my family are one big family, we thought it would be nice if they sent me to an older sibling over. Now, I'm going to do as much as I can to not interfere with your daily operations here. My principal concern is going to be security. I hear that you all have been adapting well to some new security procedures. Well, we've got some new kids to join your little family here. You'll see some friendly androids patrolling around the main building. As long as everyone remembers to wear their badges at all times, make sure they're properly registered with security, these friendly androids will stay out of your way. So long as you all keep on as you have been. Everything will be just fine. Thank you for your time. P.S. Please remember the third floor access is for executives only. If you need assistance from me or Pierce, feel free to give us a buzz on the phone and we'll send you down the daily password. Thanks. Interesting. What if we stumbled upon... Okay. I definitely need a badge, though. Bottle cap? Where's the other one? There it is.
Valid facial pattern detected.
Oh! Oh, that was close. Good thing we hacked the mainframe. Good thing we hacked it, because now he's like, okay, you're fine. Yeah. Microfusion, micro penis, micro everything around you. Microfusion, micro penis. Very hard. Well, shit. Shipping? Are you gonna ship it? Small. How do I get second floor access? Because third floor... Oh, well, look at here. We have a plasma rifle. Now I'm cucumbered again, but... Microfusion, micro penis, micro everything you can dream of. Would you like to know what micro means? It means small. Ooh, thank goodness missiles don't weigh anything in this game. It means small. I will be lurking while I finish things up, but I hope the search for your platinum chip goes famously. Thank you! Thankfully, we have the platinum chip. It's safe and sound. But I appreciate you. See you tomorrow if I don't see you tonight. Means average, but okay. What? I'm not an intruder! What in tarnation? Oh my... Okay, speaking of micro, there is a tiny little Securitron. Why is it so small? Why is it so small? I have zero chance. He's right in front of me. Sentry bot? Why are you so little? He's like a little room. Oh, shit. There was one behind me the whole time? What a view. What a view, honey. Okay, let's try this again. It's not gonna be cracking anymore. Released. Friendly. Arrested.
Mr. Stimpack with the 5-month resub, thank you so much. Thank you so much. My name is Louis Armstrong.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Tomatoes. Nope. Commands. Nope. Sundries.
People call me Forrest Gump.
Brightland. Hello. Everybody's here. Everybody's here. Why is the Grimace thanking me first? Is that what he sounded like? I cannot remember. Dictates. Stealthy. Samantha? Who the hell? How are you doing, Brightland? How you doing? Happy New Year! Happy New Year! Alright. Let's get in here again. Conqueror! Wonderful. Wonderful. Ransacked. Vibin', paintin', what you paintin', what you doing? They call me wonderful, and so we're wonderful. Thank you for 5 months. How was your New Year's Eve? How is the New Year treating you so far? Bartering. Carpeting. Thank you for the follow. I do anonymous follows. Feel free to introduce yourself or continue to stay a mysterious stranger. Alright, this is annoying. Come on. I'm just supposed to guess right off the bat. Histories. Panties. Oh no. Pantheist? The hell is a pant heist? I'm chillin', vibin', you know how it goes. I surely do. I surely do. Alright, we're gonna choose it first right off the bat. Americans. I hate to say it, but damn, I'm good. Alright. First floor access done. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you for the claps. Thank you for the claps. Thanks for not giving me the clap. But thank you for the claps. Oh shit. No, 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 no. Taking the bottle cap.
Hello. Please remember.
Sir. I have access. Alright? Why are we applauding? What's with the applause? She hates to say it, but damn, she's lying. I'm not lying. I don't lie. I got no strings to hold me down, to make me fret or make me frown. I have strings, but you can see there are no strings on me. Alright. Oh. Oh, excuse me for appreciating your work. Well, you're excused. Hi-ho, the dairy-o. Alright, let's get this oh god. We got another one. We got another one.
Valid facial pattern detected.
Well, at least he's on my side. He's on my side. Like nationwide. Kensington, hello! Nationwide is on your side. Damn, I'm good. Happy New Year, Kensington. Are you excited for the Rat Awards tomorrow? The final Rat Awards ever?
Unauthorized facial pattern. Second floor access restricted to registered employees.
Oh, shit.
Invalid response.
Shit, 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 shit. Load, we're loading. Okay, let's get some intelligence. Let's get some intelligence. Intelligence! Help me with my intelligentsia! Oh, here we go. Well, now he's not here. Hello? Oh, here he is.
No valid webcon identification.
Wait. No! I'm trying to do intelligence. I'm intelligent. I'm excited for the Red Awards. Fall. Fend. Feet. Come on, come on. Come on, come on. We need facial recognition. All right. Junk. I hate to say it, but damn, I'm good. Add facial. There we go. Second floor access, ready to go. Carl, I've made some progress decrypting the packets. From what I can tell, someone is sending progress messages to a secure offsite server somewhere. Were I to venture a guess, I would say that the messages are going to Poseidon. But I don't have enough proof to make a serious claim. Starbucks with the tier 2! 36 months. Thank you so much. 36 gaping months. Thank you. Mr. Midnight. Hello, darling. How you doing? How are you? How's life? Happy New Year. She hates to say it, but damn, she's still lying. How the hell has it been 3 years? I don't know. I really don't know. You're getting sick? Sick and tired of my bullshit. I hope you're drinking lots of tea and honey and getting lots of rest. Feel better. I mean... Mr. Rook, for the last couple weeks, I've seen a higher than usual rate of encrypted messages leaving the facility here. These messages are of an unusual encryption protocol that I haven't seen before. I'm fairly certain that this isn't DoD approved. I fear that these messages may be a sign of someone sending insider information. Mrs. Wang, please continue your investigation into the messages and keep me appraised on any progress you make. In the meantime, please keep this information private. I will make sure the appropriate parties are informed. And please, call me Carl. Carl. Hello. I will need someone to come over as soon as possible and clear the old vice president's data off this terminal, as well as reformat it with my personal information. Thank you. Carl. Do you think her husband's name is Hugh? Happy New Year, Apple. How are you? Wait, what is this joke? What is this Hugh joke? Huge asshole? Hugh G.
How may I serve you, mistress?
He gets it. Well, of course he gets it. He's Star Fox, after all. Read the terminal again. All right. What am I looking? Oh, no. Okay. Mrs. Wang. What kind of a sick sense of humor do you have where you think you can just make wiener jokes here? We've never had a wiener joke in this chat, ever. Got him! Oh, that scared the that scared me. Can you get out of my... No, you can serve me by getting the hell out of my way. Ooh, is this another blue bottle? Yeah! Oh, yeah! Ooh, we got another terminal, but it's locked as hard. What the hell is this? A security card? Nice. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Alright, well, I can't do this. This one. Do we not make wiener joke? Oh, maybe. Looks up Megzie from... There's no foreskin clip. I don't know what you're talking about. Wow, why are there so many in here? What's my lockpick at? 74? Are you kidding me? I'm one lockpick away. Okay, hold on. We're gonna do something about it, okay? Oh, another terminal for me to hack. Oh, bubblegum for me to chew. Oh, what now? Hi, Jenna. How are you? Session. Welcome. Sterile. Oh, that's definitely not it. All right, let's try this again. There's no such thing as foreskin. It's a vibe. I mean, it's imagination. I'm okie dokie. Oh, hopefully the okie dokie can turn into great. Jutting. Gaping. No, decried. All right. I hope we can turn that okayness into greatness. There we go. What was... No, don't let him do the foreskin. No receipts. Encrypted message. Ooh, Mrs. Masters? I've managed to get the password to Isley's computer. I'll forward it to you with the release notes of the Q-35. The prototype is going to be stopping here on its way to the Department of Defense. You should be able to intercept it on the road. While V-32 didn't have power yield of the V-31 or V-30, we managed to increase the stabilization threshold by approximately 27.35%. This is promising, however. We should still have yet to come up with a solution for the matter inversion issues. That was a mouthful. Version 33, failure. Lab destroyed, data lost. Version 34, failure. Interesting. I'm not sure where we got this data from. It is completely different direction from what we've been working on. We've managed to cycle the matter inversion using a polarized quantum spin. I think we solved the issue with the compensation field. I have high hopes for the next weapon. Version 35, success. That data we received from Juan did the trick. We managed to get a stable build model. I don't think this weapon is ready for mass production yet, but it should show that we have a working prototype. We should be able to get these issues resolved in later build. As you requested, here are the improvements when compared to a standard plasma rifle. Oh, wait, can I get this? Prototype material is not suitable for extended field use. On average, the Q-35 has a higher refire rate, but the time between shots is more consistent. Increase in active bolt charging time, accurate at longer ranges. Plasma charge, 30% increase in energy. Plasma. Plasma. Oh, get out of here, Garth. I've never seen it. We need to see it. But what about the fantastic foreskins that were Fortnite recently? The fantastic foreskins, you say? I guess those are real. Adults are illegal here. This is true. I saw the article. I just might have to re-download it. The only reason I would re-download Fortnite is to get the DeLorean, to be honest. Badger Bear! Hello! We're New Vegasing! You're New Vegasing? Breeze New Vegasing? Fantastic Foreskins is the name of my new band. If you need a fort carry, let me know. No! No, Hugh! I'm tempted to New Vegas alongside you. You should, Jenna. We had to. Started season 2 today. Shrug. Wait. Oh, the game. The show. I was like, season 2 of Fortnite? You're a gem. Definitely going places. Oh, there's an ad. It's okay. It's okay, Rox. It's okay. Inter-office correspondence. Julia, I'm sure you've heard by now about Robco's intentions to buy out our company. In the past, you and I have been of like mind when it comes to the morale and financial future of this company. Or moral, excuse me. There's no E at the end. When Poseidon showed interest those years ago, you helped me rally the board in order to keep Repcon autonomous. I'd like your help again with Robco. Pierce claims that Robco is buying shares in the company to force a hostile takeover if we won't sell willingly. I don't believe that they will be able to pull together enough shares without some approval of the board. I think that you and I will be able to sway enough votes to keep the company safe. I hope you will stand with me for this. To Leonard Steppel, Vice President. I'd stand with you, Leo. Give me a few days to try to gather some support from my allies on the board. I have run the numbers and I'm pretty sure you are right. We can fight this. She's the one sending the information to Robco. You were right. Leo sent me a message last night. I've made the call to the board and I think with the numbers we're looking at, pocketing from Robco deal will have no trouble getting the board to vote no confidence on him. We got a note added here. Back on the FYI, you can still have Sarabot auto post about ads for you. Oh, really, Midnight? I didn't know that. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, I'll have to look into that. I might have to just permit it to do it for me so that Rox can rest her little phalanges. Rox doesn't know. All right, let me get more lockpick action. Wait, I used all of my magazines. To break into Mr. House's bunker. So I'm just gonna have to wait till I lerp. Ooh, average again. Okay, add timer, it will turn on. Thank you, Midnight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How's the job been? How's the weather in the Midwest? Chef, hello! How are you? Happy New Year. We got a tire iron on ding ding dong bong 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 bing ba ding ding dong ding dong. Ooh, flamer fuel. Why do I need it? I don't know, but I'm grabbing it. Bang ding ding dong ding 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 dong ding dong bang 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 ding ding dong. Okay. A beautiful tune. A tune of which you can tap your toe to. Oh. This guy really went above and beyond for the company. That's right. That's right. Hate to see it. Probably an executive assistant. Having the boss asking them to do something. Weather's insane. Job is shitty. Got some new staff in now that I'm needing to do things correctly instead of the old staff that didn't care. So I might stick around for longer than a year. Or I might start looking for a new gig soon since it's been a year now. My phalanges feel great after front hedge trimming. Well, I hope that it goes well for you and is a little bit easier for at least a while until you decide to make your leave. And hopefully by then, the job market will chill the fuck out for a little bit, you know? Man, it's just been really rough. Oh, hello? Okay, before I do anything, I'm gonna save. It's just getting worse. This plane doesn't even have a phalange. Okay, this is the executive floor. So this is gonna be scary. Wait. It's the birth room. We're in the birth room. Can't believe there was not one thing in these toilets. Give a little whistle. Give a little whistle. And always let your conscience be your guide. Oh. Shit. No! Ah! Hello?
Third floor access is for executives only. Please identify.
Ice cream.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a nice day.
I hate to say it, but damn, I'm good. Ice cream. And you can customize the messages. Hell yeah. Okay, this is a very hard terminal. Rude. Rude. Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity. What would you like to do with that? Good day, Mr. Isley. Unlock safe. Hello, peers. Now that things have been set in motion, I am going to be your liaison and point of contact with Robco. I'll be handling anything that arises during your transition to the Robco family. My first priority is to be tightening up security. As you well know, Robco handles many classified projects. Because of this, RepCon will need a large increase in security. I'll be sending over some engineers and security personnel to discreetly install some enhanced security procedures. Most of it will be pretty innocuous, however. All the employees will be required to wear their security badges at all times. Please have your people start wearing their badges well in advance of our partnership becoming official. I think it will make the transition easier. None of the security measures will be activated until I arrive on site. Hopefully by then, everyone will be comfortable with their new roles. Thank you. Carl Roll. Do you think his cousin's name is... No! No! You can thank Greg for the damn I'm good thing, because ever since he started hanging up pictures in our new place, he hangs them up perfectly. Like they're perfectly straight every time. And he goes, I hate to say it, but damn, I'm good. So, you know, I'm just copying him. I'm just copying him because I can't be bothered to do anything original. Brotherhood? Whatever is his is mine. That's just how it is. Don't get me started, right? I'm looking for all of the, looking for all of the blue star caps. You better believe I'm coming for you. Who's this cute blonde lady? Where is Pippi? Indifferent. Happy New Year. Good to see you. There's no Pippi here. There's no Pippi. Enough about my B. Oh.
Shit everywhere.
I hate that this clip's so low.
There's shit everywhere! Damn it! There's shit on the windows! Oh my god! My house is full of shit! He shit everywhere! Look what he did! He shit all over the wall!
I remember seeing that for the first time and that came out and I was cracking up. Durs Nerperher. What? Durs Nerperher? No Purperher. There's no Pippi here. I can't even read my own language. Enough about my BS. How's your life going? I've mostly been lurking in streams, so I haven't caught most of the updates at all. Slowly cutting back Twitch streams that I hang out and kind of want to focus on places I enjoy interacting this year, though it should be a bit more active moving forward. Oh, no worries. Life's been crazy. I mean, I haven't been streaming as much. I used to stream like 3 days a week, like you know, and like with work and the moves and health stuff and car stuff and life stress. It's been kind of all over the place. So now it's officially Fridays and Saturdays, and life's going good. We are finally settled in our new home and just getting through the crazy life of being an executive assistant and just that schedule again. So even Fridays are a little bit tough for me because sometimes I even work, I work till like 6 p.m., 7 and then drive home. So, but it's been good, and I'm just very thankful and very blessed and very happy to just be back and get the community, you know, feeling. It's been feeling a little strained lately, and I think a lot of everybody has been going through all sorts of things. So I just want to hopefully be a provider of a fun place and just all around good vibes, you know. Mostly in boxes, gonna end up in the spring getting a dumpster and throw. I feel that. I threw out so much stuff and I still need to get rid of stuff. Does he have a leveler? He does. So every time he puts it up and then he just levels it and he's like, it didn't even need it, which is awesome. Where's the audio though? That's a great clip. I know, it's such a low audio clip. I have to figure out how to make it higher. Thanks, Midnight. Thank you. New Year freshness at Vault 800. Yes, right. That's right. There's Ner Pipper her. Pippi is here, but she's sleeping. She's dormant. She's a dormant... Oh, no. I want to go up. I want to go in here. I'm going to hang pictures of you making all those faces at Dutch angle. Does it make you uneasy? Do the Dutch angles make you feel queasy?
Third floor access is for executives only. Please identify. Thank you, ma'am. Have a nice day.
Okay, just ice cream. Always. Awe. Wait, but why are... Okay, so the Brotherhood of Steel are here because of the... of this weapon. So... we're in the right place. It's so funny that pre-war money means nothing. And I have nothing. Don't make me cry. I don't wanna hurt you. How the hell do I get up there? I remember this place. How you doing, Indifferent? How's life? What's new? What's new, pussycat? I do the same thing as Greg whenever my mom wants me to hang things. She'll measure and it can't get centered and level, so I'll just look at it. Put a nail out on the wall, move it, rehang it exactly how she wants. It's a very useful skill. It's quite impressive. It's quite erotic. And I can't have you. Okay, so I'm in a frickin' going in circles here. Cause this, no, that's not it. Building my business, spending more time with family, which has been nice. Oh, that's important. You have to spend time with the family. You can't turn your back on family, you know? You remember this place? Well, I need to figure out how to get the frickin' the gun. How do I get it? The Brotherhood was here. It means that I'm... part of my job is hanging things on walls for set, and I'll have to go back and make things not level sometimes, because that's how people be. You are a menace. It's a maze. I don't remember how I got to the top floor either. Shit. It's probably something weird, but I know there's a gun here for me to get, and I'm just getting dizzy doing this. Alright, let's try going down here. An award-winning menace, mind you. Well, excuse me. Lots of sunset sarsaparillas in here, though. There must be a specific way. Man, I bet these robots are making this hallway super hot. Do we try this? Yeah, Miss Wang. No. Not doing that again. No Wang. No Wangs.
Third floor access is for executives only. Please identify. Thank you, ma'am. Have a nice day.
Wait, but this is the second floor. This is the second floor. What is he talking about? Main floor? There's always something. I'm wondering if I'm just too low of a level. to get up top because there's some locked doors. This is probably it. And I'm 75. I don't even know what my lockpick is at. 70!
Valid facial pattern detected.
Yeah, Miss Wang's messages are ruined.
How may I serve you, mistress?
Ruined, I say. This thing. Aww. Oh.
Sure, boss.
Oh shit. Oh shit. It's the second floor. Is there any plans that you guys have for the new year that you really want to try to get done? Like... Well, that's pretty. Beautiful, isn't it? Robco, with its subsidiary Repcon, has often gazed into the night sky, seeing the rich pageant of stars and planets above us. Our goal? To send unmanned rockets to these other systems, seeing their beauty firsthand while mining ever deeper into each planet's surface for precious resources needed here at home. This is our promise to mankind, extending our reach into future, where number of Robco and Repcon rockets match the stars in the sky. This is a bit brought to you by your friends at Robco. I want to make a viral clip of you, of me? Honey, I have to be viral in order to go viral. What is this? Jenny Millet's security key card. Who the hell is Jenny Millet and why do I want this key card? The card of keys. Hello? Jenny? Jenny? I have Jenny Millet's key card, everyone. Everybody, don't panic. I have Jenny's card. Things are looking up for me now. Everything's gonna be okay. Jenny, can I have your number? Maybe that's for Darth Vader's wife. Another hard door. Who can I talk to around here to give me some directions?
Welcome to Repcon headquarters, Rocketeer. Come all this way to see our little facility, have you? I'm here to answer any and all questions you may have, within specified parameters. And if you'd like, I can provide a tour of our museum.
What can you tell me about Repcon?
I can answer whatever questions you'd like, provided your query is limited to Repcon history, research and development, or Robco. Repcon's
I'm gonna get a quick
began way
snack.
back in 2054, shortly after the famous Delta-11 rocket was completed and launched. Repcon's initial focus was on the development of fuel to be used in orbital propulsion in response to the energy crisis of 2052. Sad times indeed. The company really took off when Robco purchased Repcon in late 2076 to develop unmanned rockets to explore the solar system.
Okay.
Very well. The tour showcases Repcon's amazing scientific contributions and the promise of many more, coupled with its parent company, Robco.
If I tour the museum, how does this work?
I can answer whatever questions you'd like, provided your query is limited to
Yeah,
Repcon
I know.
As you may already know, Repcon is an industry leader in producing alternative fuels for military and scientific purposes. Repcon scientists were pioneers in fission-based propulsion systems and have recently recently had some very exciting breakthroughs with plasma systems. The recent partnership with Robco has freed our engineers from mundane business matters, allowing them to focus solely on future projects.
Okay.
I can answer whatever questions you'd like, provided you're...
I know, you told me that already.
Robco Industries purchased Retcon in 2075 to assist with some of Robco's military projects, as well as developing unmanned space exploration. The relationship between Robco and Repcon is mutually beneficial, and we hope that both companies bolster each other well into the next century.
Okay.
Excellent.
Okay, we're doing a tour. We're doing a tour.
For the Repcon tour, Rocketeers?
Yes.
Fine folks at Robco, I'll be your guide today on the path of scientific discovery. In the lead-lined case behind me is a spent radioactive rock from one of our old reactors. No need to stand too close. Let's move along, shall we?
That's not there anymore. It's an old rod.
Look here, a row of multicolored plasma fuses. Careful, they may look safe to drink, but your stomach is the last place they should be. Why the difference in cylinder size?
Aw, but I wanted to.
Has resulted in higher yields of fuel over time. That's why.
Oh, lovely. Bio waste.
To my right, you can see a sample of some old safety barrels Repcon once used to store radioactive waste. Perfectly safe. On my left is an example of a mountain of Repcon safety barrels some legislators claim are poisoning our environment. Ridiculous. Behind me is our most recent rocket project, which we're keeping under our hats.
I know what these are.
And in front of me is a model, not actual size, of the launch zone we are using to send our rocket screaming into orbit.
This is actually kind of fun to do before the ghoul quest. Yeah, this is efficient.
Now these colorful fellows behind me are Repcon's earliest experiments in flight. Feel free to read the plaques and learn, Rocketeers.
Oh, I think we do the tour so that I didn't have to lockpick the doors. And then get this key card, which I still don't understand what it's for.
Due to a generous donation from Robco, this next exhibit showcases the wondrous world of robots. Around you are the incredible Ivor, the fearsome Sentribot, and the always helpful Mr. Handy. That helpfulness runs through our whole line.
How cute!
This is the final stop on our tour. This model of our solar system is a small example of where the partnership between Robco and Repcon hopes
So
to go.
basically, Mr. House is Elon Musk.
Planets beyond our own. And that's it for our tour today, Rocketeers. Robco and its tiny partner Repcon, thank you. Any final
And its
questions?
tiny partner, Repcon. No, Ern! I was gonna raid you! Thank you for the raid, you beautiful human! Thank you, thank you, thank you. How was your birthday? Or Ern Day? Burn Earth Day. Oh my god. Sorry. Berts. How was your stream, Ern? If you're not following Sacred Ern, please go follow her right the frick now. An absolute goddess, a sweet being, amazing human. Technically, it just turned my birthday, January 3rd. Happy birthday, Ern. I saw you, I was lurking in your stream this whole time, and I saw you talking with your fangs. I thought you had a rib in your mouth. If you know, you know. Thank you so much for choosing me to raid into. Thank you, everybody, for being here. If you don't know who I am, my name is MissMegzie, and I stream Fridays and Saturdays, and this is Vault 800, the slumber party vault that your parents can't pick you up from. Ern, if you have to do your post-stream self-care, your birthday, dance around in your birthday suit like nobody's watching, and if they are, that's creepy because you didn't probably give them a permission to. But please go do that. And your community is safe with me. Hi, Pearl. Hi, everybody. Hi, Tails. Thank you for coming in with the raid. We're just doing some New Vegas shenanigans, and probably won't be on much longer either. But this has been awesome. How are you? I just realized you have one of the most rare whole posters. Yep. Yeah, that's from 95, I think. It's legit. It's the felt blacklight posters. So I found it on eBay. Ribs for days. I'm glad you had fun. Thank you so much for bringing your friends here. You're absolutely amazing. Please go follow Ern. Who else came in? Please go follow Pearl. And how now? Good to see you. If Zom was there, please also go follow Zom. But sit back, relax, enjoy the chaos, because we're a rambunctious group of rapscallions ready to take on the gaping radioactive wasteland. Did I ever tell you the time drunk Courtney Love kissed me on the way on stage? No, you absolutely did not, Chris. Where was this? When? Was it like peak Courtney Love? Hi, Booty Bandit. I love your face so much, Megzie. I'm gonna head to bed. Got a birthday party prep for Saturday night. Have fun. Have the best time. Happy birthday, beautiful. Why gaping? Because it's big, vast, and like this gaping hole in which we live in. It's a gaping hole in which life sucks us into. Flashed some boob, 1999. That was pretty. I feel like 99 Courtney Love was quite unhinged. Was that before or after Man on the Moon with Jim Carrey when she played Andy Kaufman's wife? So you were there for a whole concert? Do 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 do. Fuck your mugs. Do 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 do. I wanna get upstairs. Oh, I do have one thing that I could share for today. My Etsy order I placed like a month ago finally came in more shiny. Yes! I love when you get presents in the mail that you ordered. That's like it's like Christmas any time of year. I'm glad they finally showed up. Alright, let's see if I can enter from the outside. You're watching Pocahontas. Pocahontas, and you'll never hear the wolf cry to the blue corn moon, or ask the grinning bobcat why she grins. No, there's no other intrado. Oh, maybe there's a down below intrado? Can you sing with all the voices of the mountain? You've been unmotivated and in a funk. Oh, I'm sorry. I know how that is. And that's why I'm like, you know what? Playing Fallout is just easy. It's easy. It's my favorite game. I can have a good time. People enjoy it for the most part, I think. And I could just not put so much pressure on myself to be creative. And then the creativity just ends up flowing once you're in your groove, you know? What's in here? Where am I? No, other side of the door. We do, ma'am, and you're the best company. Why, thank you, darling. Even though I'm very confused and don't know where I am. Thank you so much for the follow. I do anonymous follows, but feel free to introduce yourself or continue being a mysterious stranger. Where's this dead man's body? Ranger Morales' corpse. That's what I'm looking for. It's close. We're close. Is it under here? Where's the dang corpse? I'm pretty sure Courtney Love let a fan suck on her TTs. Dude became known as the Milkman. No way! Are these dudes? Are these dudes? Girl's wild. Rashid, happy birthday!
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold up. Where do you think you're going?
Oh. Retrieve the body of Ranger Morales?
Christina hired you, huh? Well, if you're gonna go up there, there's a couple things you should know. Esteban's body's in the middle of those buildings up the hill there. Look carefully and you can see the fiends patrolling the rooftops. But they laid traps, too. There's mines all over. So for God's sakes, watch your feet. Get him back here. We'll get him home. Hey, it's your life.
How you doing, Rashid? Alright, where are these mines? You say he's on the hill? In the hill here? Yeah! Shit! Nice! I'm doing good. Thank you very much. Where's his body? Whoa, whoa. Happy New Year's, Rashid. Did you do anything fun? Fisto. Where's Fisto when you need him? Better I slept in. What time is it? What time is it over there? Raul, handle that, please. Oh, for the love of Pete. Jacob Wilson, welcome in. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, you meant for New Year's. These aren't Gunner glasses, but these are from a place called I Buy Direct, and they were very affordable. And they also came with a magnetic pair of sunglasses that pops on right over on top. I love Pete. How'd you know? For the love of Pete. Because, you know, he was a good guy. He was a good guy that we didn't deserve. Oh, is this him? Ranger Morales! We're here for his corpse. Come on. Come on, Mr. Morales. Good old Prospector Pete. We're taking him back home. Taking him back home. Taking him back, taking him back. We're taking him back home to his wife. So she could stop her crying. So she could see her husband once again. We're taking Ranger Morales back home to see his lady. To be not afraid anymore that his body will go to the rat roaches and the earth.
I don't believe it. Who the hell are you, lady? How did you just walk right up and pull him out of there? That must be some kind of code of honor you hold yourself to. You're like a woman possessed. We'll make sure Ranger Morales' body gets sent back home. You don't have to, you know, pick him up on your shoulder and haul him to California.
Almost a year!
Almost a year.
You should go tell Private Morales the news, and this will be relieved.
Thank you so much, Cabra. Here you go. Take good care of it. How you doing? Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Cabra. You're rad. And probably have rads, so please take your rad away. Explore the wasteland. Oh, Ranger Jackson. Responsibly. Well, no one cares about him? That's not right. We'll take him back to his guys, too. No one should be left behind, alright? No ranger left behind. This is a road that never ends, and it goes on and on, my friends. Some people started walking it not knowing where it led, and we won't stop walking it because our friend bled out. It was a road that never ends. Here, help Ranger Jackson get a proper burial too. Alright? It's the only thing we can, it's the least we could do around here. Is be proper humans. Okay, find the Legion Dropbox. Where's that? All the way over here? Alright. Did you do anything fun for the new year, Cabra? We are walking in the wasteland, and we don't know where we're gonna end up. We're walking in the wasteland, and you know and we don't give a fuck, because we're walking in the wasteland, and you never knew who we'll meet. And we're walking in the wasteland, and every time it's such a treat. Yeah! We're walking. Is there going to be another hollowed out rock around here again? Raoul is nearby. Near, far, wherever you are. I believe that the heart will go on. Oh, these chips made my tummy hurt. I shouldn't have eaten them. I should have known better. They're making me walk all the way up this hill for this box. Oh, for all these boxes? Oh, look at all this cash money, baby. Oh, wow. Got the cash money, honey. What am I gonna do with all this fake Monopoly? Whoa, 11 doctor's bags? Okay. I can't carry that many, so I guess I'll put some back. That's gnarly. I guess just put some atomic cocktails in there from some so I was that just reminded me of a coworker of mine who, when he gets really excited about like what he's talking about, he starts mumbling. He's like, yeah, so I went over here, and then I was like, and then she was like, oh, you know, and then I just start laughing, and I think he thinks he like that I'm laughing at him being funny, but I just don't understand what he's saying. Hazmat! Hi, how are you? I'm just like, he's like, yeah, and then I was like his assistant, and then he was like, oh, I don't know what you're doing over there, but I'm just gonna say whatever, gotta do that. He's Gert the Mermbles. Yep, he's Gert the Mermbles, indeed. So I guess takes one to know one, right? All right, let's put some doctor's bags back. We don't need that many. We'll take 5. All right. Oh, shit, Raul, you scared me yet again. All right, quests. Oh. We'll go there, because I thought we already did that. Helios 1. The game run's been fun, Cabra. A lot of progress has been made, and it's actually aligning really well with the show. Season 2 of the show. So, it's been good.
This chain link fence perimeter is worthless. We might as well be What is it?
What is it? Well, I'm here for supplies.
Yeah, they were here a while ago. Gave them all I could, which wasn't much. But as many problems as I've seen. If you're trying to track them down, we put a...
Okay, yeah, I've done that.
Later.
Somehow it didn't save, but whatever. Oh, because I was dying. I think last time I went over here, I completely dead. The timing has been splendid, darling. This game reminds me I need to catch up with the show. Well, you have plenty of time to catch up for next episode. Finally finished Stranger Things. How is that the last episode of Stranger Things? Or the last season? I've been seeing a lot of people on Instagram just absolutely trash talking it. I mean, it kind of died off in season 2 for me, but you know, we're walking and talking and being good little noodles. Oh yeah, we were attacked by frickin' geckos on this last one. That's why that wasn't saved. Oh, and frickin' Cazadors? Are you kidding? Hell no. Oh, hell no. We're going over here where the geckos are. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Damn. Critical strike. How is that not? Sir? Was it interesting? Yes. Okay. If it's interesting, it's worth a watch. For sure. Raul, do something about this gecko infestation, please. Shit. Here they come. Here they come. Raul, handle it. Please. Thank you. Nani? We just don't want to run into the cazadors. We don't want to run into the cazadors. So many dangerous insects and dangerous creatures in the waste. Oh, I see them. Okay. Here they are. Blown to smithereens. Forlorn hope letter. Alright. Shit. No. 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 Recruit. Kaiser? Ah! How are they hiding out with the... No! Welcome to Bethesda. Welcome to Bethesda. We were doing so well. Now we have to kill those girthy ass geckos again. The girthy ass geckos must be killed again. Oh shit. Shit! Sorry guys.
Is on. Leave it on. I want my MTV. You want your MTV. I want my MTV.
I want my MTV.
See new video music you can't see anywhere else. New contests, new specials, new guest VJs, new news.
Too much? Yeah, too much. Never.
Too much is never enough.
you're gonna get fired up. 2 incredible CDs packed with over 2 hours of all your favorite dance hits. This 2 CD collection is only available through this special TV offer. Every beat of this 32-track collection will keep you mesmerized. Pick up the phone or log on to MissMegzie's.com and get it now. Fired Up has it all. Don't wait any longer. Order this collection by Rush Delivery. For the first time ever, these Dance Club mega hits are all together on one non-stop party collection. Order Fired Up online at MusicSpace.com. You can't get this 2 CD collection in any store. Get fired up now and sleep later. To order, have your credit card ready and call the number on your screen or log on to MusicSpace.com. Rush delivery available. Do it now.
Poor Greg. Whoop.
It's about to hit.
Better off alone.
Brace yourself, because you're gonna get fired up. 2 incredible
Inspector Gadget.
dance hits. This 2 CD collection is only available through this special TV offer.
A little bit more.
Every beat of this 32-track collection will keep you mesmerized. Pick up the phone or log on to MusicSpace.com and get it now. Fired Up has it all. Don't wait any longer. Order this collection by Rush Delivery.
And I dream my love.
For the first time ever, these Dance Club mega hits are all together on one non-stop party collection. Order Fired Up online at MusicSpace.com.
Dancing free till the morning.
You can't get this 2 CD collection in any store. Get fired up now.
I'm getting fired up right now.
To order, have your credit card ready and call the number on your screen or log on to MusicSpace.com. Rush delivery available.
Okay.
Do it now.
Well, here's what I need to do. What is that Fallout phone number? Thanks for waiting, guys. I had to get Greg to help me out with something, and I put my phone on silent. My phone automatically turns into sleep mode at 10 p.m., and so he was calling me, and I was like not answering because I didn't hear it. 8675309. No, the Fallout number. That's not it. One 888 Vault Tech. 1-888 VAULTTEC.
to America's hottest talk line. Guys, hot ladies are waiting to talk to you. Press 1 now. Ladies, to talk to interesting and exciting guys free. Press 2 to connect free now. Guys, press 1 now. Ladies, press 2 now.
I don't think that's the right number. Maybe the other one. 2 1 3 2 5 VAULT.
Hi, I'm Bud F. You probably know Voltec is the brand to trust in the increasingly likely case of a global nuclear war.
Well, okay then. I don't think we were supposed to call the first number of it being a talk hotline. But now that I have the number, I mean, why not? Anywho. So, what about this one?
The person you have dialed is not able to receive calls at this time.
Okay, fine. Hang up on me then. Anyway, let's get back to New Vegas, shall we? Everything's fine. Everything's great. Everything's awesome. We'll be on for a little bit longer and then we'll raid out, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. Okay. Okay, so let's go to Helios 1. Erde. What does Erde mean?
Sure, boss. The old man will crawl around in the dirt.
What is it?
Blah, blah, blah. I need to get the forlorn hope, furlorn herp, derp. Okay, bye. Okay, bye. Let's go get the Jerper Earths and make sure to save. Every day. Yeah, it's there, Ariana Grande. Erde. So, let's get ambushed by geckos again, shall we? That was a treat. Yeah, that was definitely worth clipping. The fact that we called a sex talk line or whatever thickums and dickums. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing. What I need to figure out is where the radiation suits are. Okay, here they are. Here are these, Raoul, please. Nice! Got one. Easy. In a dream, my love, came into my heart. Away. I'll scrub a dub dub. I missed it. Oh, you missed it? Oh. Scrub a dub dub. 2 gals in the tub. What do you know? We're scrubbing our toes. Scrubbing them toes and making them good. Scrubbing them toes all over the hood of your car. I was walking in the wasteland and I came across a shipment. It was weird and everyone was around it dead. Aw, I'm cute. I look so innocent. Little do they know, I'm not. Merciful thug, despite your reputation as a thug, you are known to occasionally show a charitable side. Okay, well, that was easy. It was an ambush. An ambush, I tell you. A legionnaire. I get it. Legionnaire. Do you think we're gonna see more Legion in the next episode? Or what? Without giving anything away. Oh, we're at Tom's Diner tonight. Yep, and I really do want a BLT. I was making a BLT last night, and I realized I didn't have any tea. I didn't have any of the tomato. So that was a bummer. So I just had bacon and lettuce on bread. Bacon and lettuce on bread. I like tomatoes though. I love them. They're tasty. They're so tasty too. We need to murders in a sandwich. We're nurture murders. You can't handle that shit. They're squidgy, but not always. I had even less or more depending on how you look at it. You've just had bacon on bread. I've been on a... Oh, shit. I shouldn't talk about food. You're on a freaking juice broth fast. Oh, how's that going? Are you still cranky? Juice. Juice. Tell the truth when you drink the juice. Would you like to have a toothache? I know I wouldn't. Alright. I got your shipment, bitch.
What is it?
Oh, I have to go to Forlorn Hope? What am I doing? Data. My dearest Ellen, we're in a tough spot here, and none of the men expect to make it out alive. Things are looking pretty grim, and I'm writing this so that if anything happens to me, you know how much you meant to me. I was foolish to join the NCR and leave you behind, and I've regretted it every second of every day that I've been here. My only wish now is to see you again and hold you in my arms. The only thing that keeps me going are my thoughts of you. Just know I have made mistakes, but you were the best thing that ever happened to me. I'm sorry and I love you, Harry. To my brothers, if you're reading this, I was probably killed by some slimy Legion scum who got lucky. Hopefully the bastard is dead and 6 feet under, but if not, you better avenge me or I will haunt you until the day you die. Quincy. P.S. Kill all the Legion dogs that I wasn't able to. Jeez. Dear Janie, if you're reading this, that means I didn't make it. I want you to know that you're the most important thing in my world. You're my moon, my sun, and my stars. And even out here in the battlefield, I thought of you every minute of every day. At night, I put your picture on the bunk above me and look into your beautiful eyes until I fall asleep. Even though I'm gone, Know that I'll always be with you. Just close your eyes and think of me, and I'll be there, right by your side. Daniel. This is sad. Forlorn Hope, letter 3. Dear Mom and Dad, if you're reading this, you know I won't be coming home. I'm sorry this is how it all ended. I'm sorry for all the times that I didn't listen to you, and I'm sorry for storming out the way I did. But I want you to know that you were the best parents anyone could ever have. You gave me everything I could ever want, and I only now see that. Thank you for everything. Your son, James. Forlorn Hope, letter 5. Dear Mom, Pa, if you're getting this letter, then I'm sure you've already heard the news. I'm sorry, but know now that I'm in a better place. Tell Mikey I did good, okay? You were the best family I ever could have hoped. Wait, you were the best family ever, and I hope I made you proud. Will. That's sad. Why does it have to be all sad and shit? Forlorn Hope, darn you. I've been having more broth because it makes me feel more full than making it fruit and veggie smoothies. Hasn't felt too hard weighing myself tomorrow, so interested to see how much of an impact it had. Also ordered a fat measuring scale to get more accurate numbers. Just looking at total weight. That comes in tomorrow. Ooh, yeah, I've had one of those actually. It tells you your bone density, your fat, your water. It's actually quite helpful.
I've heard of you. What do you want?
Who do I talk to about these supplies? This man here. Oh!
I still don't have any supplies to spare. Is there something else I can help you with?
Found the supplies you were looking for.
I take it my men weren't dead. It's a high price to pay, but these supplies will save a few lives here. Thanks for finding these. You should check in with the Major. I want to know about this.
Major D's nuts! The power armor in this looks so little. The power armor is so little. Raul.
Back already? What do you need?
So, when you're done being a dick, I help Quartermaster Amaze.
The extra supplies will help for a short time, but that only solves one of our problems. With all the Legion raids lately, we're running low on troops that can still fight. Some are injured, but even more are dead. I want you to check in with Dr. Richards and see if he needs any help getting our troops back on the front line.
Oh my gosh, a wild goose chase over here. And I'm going over here, and I'm going over there.
I've got a lot to do. Make it quick. With business booming like it is, and considering I'm the only person with medical experience in the camp, I could perhaps use a hand.
I got
Do
you.
you have any medical experience?
Yes, I have some medical experience.
Excellent. As you can see, we have a lot of injured troopers here, and
Oh
I haven't
my
had time to look
God.
at all of them yet.
It was
If
an
you have
accident,
some
Brightland. I was
experience,
trying to
I'd
call
like you examine them and
Fallout.
See what you can do to treat them.
Oh, finally, I can do this. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. It can't be saved. You carefully begin to amputate the limb during surgery. You notice the man's hand is gangrenous. You amputate that as well, saving his life. But he's gonna be so bummed. Okay, what's wrong with this one? This man appears to have suffered a close range of blast trauma. His upper torso is covered in cuts and is severely burned. Improper treatment will kill him. Would you like to treat him? If you have tweezers, Med-X, and a super stim pack, you may be able to treat. Use medical equipment. Oh. Medicine. Oh, he's naked. You administer medications to the patient. His fever spikes and his breathing quickens. His injuries are well beyond your skill to treat. Shit!
Hey, be careful. I don't like people hurting my patients.
I'm not trying. Alternative, if you have Med-X, whiskey, and surgical tubing. Well, where's surgical tubing? I need tubing. Here. Here we go. There we go. Using the Med-X to dull the patient's pain, you use the surgical tubing to reduce some of the bleeding and sterilize the wound with whiskey. The patient will recover completely in time. Yay! Well, 1 of 3 saved, I suppose. Where the hell did the doctor go? Did he run out of here? Open the flap. Where is he? Oh.
I've got a lot to do. Make it quick. Not too bad. At least you didn't kill anyone.
At least I
We'll
didn't
cover soon
kill
and be back on the front
anyone.
lines in no time. Ha, the circle of life. I'll send word to Major Politely about your work here. Thanks.
Politely tell him no. Maybe I've given Forlorn Hope a little bit more hope after all. It's some hopeful after all. We are hopeful after all. We are hopeful after all. It's no longer forlorn hope.
I heard from Dr. Richards. I'm glad you were at least some use to him. With the help you've given us, we're doing a little bit better, but we still have the Legion forces at Nelson to deal with. If we can retake Nelson, that will be a huge help to our efforts in this area and give us an advantage at Hoover Dam.
Damn! Do you have troops to take Nelson?
Not really, but we don't have much choice. If you help out more around camp, I could spare some additional men for the battle.
Well, what do you need more help with?
Have been reinforced and are looking pretty strong.
Okay.
Come back when you're ready.
Alright. Nelson. Where's Nelson? We're at Nelson. 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 Doo-doo. Told you there was no Pippi. I told you. Oh, wait. Return?
Back already? What do you... Are you ready?
What do you...
Not really, but we don't have much choice.
Okay, let's do it. Oh, there's Legion forces?
Legion forces have been reinforced and are looking pretty strong.
Okay, hold on. I need time to prepare. We need time. She said it again. Hiya. But where is this Nelson place? Novak, Harper, Wolfhorn, Searchlight, Nipton, Mojave, Prim. Ranger Station, my Foxtrot. Is it a place we haven't discovered yet? Ooh, there's a vault here. Camp Golf. Let's go to Camp Golf. Camp Golf. Calling for a friend.
One of the Ranger vets looked at me, and I just about surrendered.
Oh, okay. I didn't want to say anything. But if you know, you know, you know, you know. I think we should go back and help the Kings some more. Damn, I can't steal it. You did screenshot that moment, ma'am. You's a good noodle. You's a good noodle. Noodle-noodle-oo. There's... Hello?
Patrolling. Why don't you pick a side? We did.
Pick a side? Pick a side? That's asking a lot of little old me. Whatever could I ever do? Which side will we choose? Damn. Y'all look dope. Dope as hell. Your name is Doper McGee. Where's the person in charge?
Hey.
Oh, there's a ghoul in here.
Controlling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter.
There's a ghoul under there. Do, 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 do. I need to finish painting my little guy. Painting my little dude. Painting it. Whoa, that's a lot of sassy barillas. Sassy, sassy. Any bottle caps around here? Just a bunch of empty bottles. Bottle cap. Blue Star bottle cap, Blue Star bottle cap. Nobody wants the Blue Star bottle cap but me. This is the most, I feel like these are the most I've ever gotten while playing this game. Blue Star bottle cap. What do you think I'm gonna do with that Blue Star bottle cap? Who are you? Another veteran ranger with nothing better to do but to sleep it off. Sleep it off, you old dog. Rooty tooty, fresh and fruity. Tell me about your mommy. I know. I can't wait either. It's gonna be great. Then I'm gonna paint it or tape, glue it and all that. Molotov cock? No, those are steadies. Okay. There's nobody here I need to talk to. It's a little late. Is it? Is it, Big Bean? I don't think so. It's precisely the right time. The ripe 2:30. Ripe? Ripe like D's nuts? We're gonna end here soon. Oh my gosh, it's already 11:30. Yeah, we should call it a night. Should we call it a night, folks? Shall we call it a Maybe, maybe not. Alright, fine. We won't go to Vault 3034. We can go over to Freeside real quick. I have a lot of rookie hours. I am comfy too. But I should get on a decent sleep schedule because I'm gonna have to get to work soon and be a responsible adult and wake up early and go to bed early. Barely hanging on. Whoa. Whoa, indeed. I did too, Jenna. I did too. My sleep schedule is so critch-ankled. So critch-ankled. But I've been doing like little mocktails at night with magnesium.
Hey, you're the one who's been going around helping people around here, right?
Yeah.
The king says to keep up the good work. He said to give you this.
What? Ooh, caps. Thanks. I've been doing like little mocktails with black cherry and magnesium. And it's tasty. Feels like I'll be twerking again. No. I don't like it. Wait, what are the things I'm supposed to do for him already? Oh, GI Blues. Old Norman Fort. Ask questions. I'm already doing a King's Quest. I'll just wait for Greg to come home and then I'll log off. He'll be home in like 30 minutes, if not sooner. But I have to grind Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders, Arc Raiders, Arc Raiders. Look at these two folks having a conversation. Oh, oh, oh. Wayne? Wayne!
Got any reason to talk to you? Scram.
Oh, excuse me. Ferris? Save Ferris?
What
Roy.
is it? Can't you see I want to be left alone with my friend here?
Whoa, King asked me to look into your attack.
Oh, that's different then. How can I help?
Jeez.
I'll do anything to get the bastards that did this.
Can you tell me about what happened?
Well, it happened at night, around 11. We'd recently made some caps off a bit of scrap we found and wanted to invest it wisely. As we
That's
were
a
leaving
baby
the Wrangler,
kitten,
we must have taken
Wayne.
a wrong turn and ended up in the squatter side of town. From out of nowhere, these big guys show up and start barking questions at us, wanted to know if we were locals.
Skid
The kid
Row.
there's about as proud as a local around here gets, and started yelling back at him. Then all hell broke loose. Kid got the worst of it, sad to say.
Do you remember anything about the people who attacked you?
They were big guys. Young,
Big
too.
guys, you
No
say?
geezers like me. Hell, none of them looked even half my age. I was mostly face down in the dirt, begging for my life when it happened, so I only got a quick look at them.
Okay, I gotta get going. Bye.
I hope you find the bastards that did this. If you
That
want,
Star
I'll
Fox
let my
made that
friend know
emote.
about him. He saw more than I did.
Wayne.
That true? Did the king really send you?
He did.
I don't really know what else I can add. There were a bunch of guys, better dressed than most Freesiders, I guess. That help?
Every bit helps, thank you.
Sorry I couldn't help more, especially since you're being so nice.
Yeah, well,
Hey,
you were
wait,
being
I
a
just
huge
remembered
dick.
something. I might have heard one of the guys that attacked us call another by name. We had just about had it when one of them said, "Hey Lou, we gotta go." At least I think he said Lou. Might have been something else. Now that I think of it, he said Lou something. Something with a T. Tenant, that's what he called him. Lieutenant. He probably...
Hi, Mr. C. How are you doing?
The boy means well, but he's dumb as a mutant sometimes.
Save Ferris, Lieutenant. So, sounds like it's an NCR person, maybe. Mangled, how are you? Mangled? What the hell? Why are you mangled? I'm doing all right. It was a pretty rough day, but chat cheered me up a bit. Fallout cheered me up a bit. Just a teensy weensy bit. Yippee-yay, there'll be no wedding bells for today. Happy New Year, Mr. C. Happy New Year, everybody. That jingle, jingle, jingle. And they go right merrily along. And they sing, oh, ain't you glad you're single? Requires key? In this economy? Oh, well, thank you, sir. Feliz Navier. That girl has been standing there since I last chatted with her. Oy, 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 it's a maze up here.
Hi. All right. I'll see you later.
Hello,
Have you
King.
found anything out? Or we
I
were just
sure
here to chat?
have. The local men were attacked by soldiers. One of them was identified by rank.
Bunch of soldier boys, huh?
Soldier
They
boys
usually
up
don't
in
come
this
around
hole.
these
Watch
parts
me
since
down
their
and
big
watch me
base is on the other
go.
side of the strip. If they're coming over here now, it's got to be for a reason. I didn't want to believe the rumors that they're looking to take over Vegas, but now, if something big is going down, I'm sure rumors of it will have spread. Ask around, particularly in the squatter areas where the NCR folk hang.
The squatter.
You might also mosey on over to the Mormon Fort and chat Julie Farkas up.
Ted
Followers
Farkas'
tend to be
sister?
in the know about these things. Just don't ask her what to do about it. She'll probably ask you to hug someone or something.
Alright. So back to the fort. Yikes. So much running around. Like I got all the time in the world on my hands. I got spurs that jingle, jingle, jingle. I will not stand for these puns. Wow. As you... Star Fox, please. You know you're about to get a whooping if you keep that up. Keep that up and see what happens, huh? No, I may have done some fooling. This is why I never fell. Punishment at its best. Please stop. Please stop.
Come to Mick and Ralph's for all your shopping.
Oh, well, come all right. All right, back to the fort. Talk to Julie Farkas. Be like, what's up, girl? What's happening? Arcade Gannon.
Hi. If you're looking for medical help, try the other doctors. I'm just a researcher. Not even a particularly good one.
Oh, don't sell yourself so short, cutie patootie.
Not all followers are people persons.
Girl.
Besides, someone needs to do research. I have no problem with Julie sticking me back here. Out of sight, out of mind. Though it has a noble goal, I don't think this research will yield much fruit. No pun intended.
Why is everyone doing puns?
No offense intended, but why should I go anywhere with you?
Oh, well, things are bad around here, and I'd like to make a difference, and I'd like you to help me.
That seems appropriately resolute and yet vague. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and go with you, but let me be clear about something. If you plan to help Caesar's Legion, this is going to be a brief relationship. I may not have all the answers for how to fix Freeside's problems, but Caesar taking control isn't part of the solution. Fair?
Fair enough.
As the old saying goes, two's company, but three's a small army. Okay, I'm paraphrasing a bit, but you get the idea.
Okay, so he won't follow me because I have Raoul. I can definitely have two companions, but one needs to be either an animal or a robot. Where's this Julie lady? Ooh, she's cute. The hell? Gamblers are sleeping here now? Kind of
All that wealth is wasted on the strip. There are people in Freeside who need food and medicine.
Hello? Julie? Buzz? Megan? Guys? Buzz? Julie? Where the hell is she?
Hello.
Uncle Frank? Is this a joke? I think, is she the one that's at the strip? Corner of the fort door. Buzz? You mean on the outside? I think Greg's home, so we're gonna end it here anyway. Alright guys, this was fun. This was fun. I had a good time. One of the corner towers. I got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle. What's a tower? Tower? I hardly even know her. Inside. Okay, well, we'll find it when we wake up in the wasteland tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be doing Roll for Special. We're going to be doing Roll for Special. It's going to be great fun. It's episode 2. Episode 2 of Roll for Special in Fallout 3. And then at 3 p.m., before our stream tomorrow evening, I will be over at Soup is on Twitch's channel, raising money for Golfie's surgery. Thank you for being here. Have a fantastic 2026 or else. I adore you guys. This has been a lot of fun. We had some good laughs today. So I'll see you tomorrow. Don't you fret. We're going to get more laughs in all weekend long, baby. And then I'm still working on getting that stick shift stream situated. There's just a lot of moving parts. So, all right, you guys, thank you so much. Let's find someone to raid. Safety. Dance. Boop 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 boop. Should we raid another Fallout streamer? Should we do Fallout in the something? I don't know. My computer's acting weird though. It's very slow. Let's see. It must be the sex line I accidentally called. Oh, it's literally because Twitch is freezing on me. So let's see who's playing Fallout New Vegas. If not, we'll raid someone who we know. Who's this? Ooh, so many people are playing Fallout New Vegas right now. Everybody take your chance. Barbara Bites? Barbara Bites? With 21 viewers. Oh, she's Australian, so she will be up late. Hold on, I gotta see this. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Oh, good times, good times. Ew, Australian. You take it back, Booty Bandit. You take it back. I think she looks nice. She looks like she's playing her first playthrough Fallout New Vegas. So why don't we give her some lurv? Are you Australian too, Booty Bandit? Is that why you're saying that? Are you Australian? Are you Australian? All right, guys, let's go raid out to Barbara Bites. Hopefully not too hard. By Barbara Bites is Australian. Now you're murking us. Well, how rude. We have many Aussies in chat, so you take it back right now before I shove my plutonium blaster up your Taco Bell aster hole. I don't know what I'm saying. Let's raid. Okay, thank you so much for being here, everybody. Remember that you are excellent, you are loved, and you are worthy of love. Well, let's kick 2026's freaking ass, man. Let's show it who's boss. Let's have a good year together. Forever. Forever. I'll see you tomorrow. Let's show some love to Barbara Bites before we go out for the night, okay? Please. Let's show her what Meg's World is all about.